All right, let's turn our attention then to the very same story, but give you some analysis. And we're joined by retired Constitutional Court Justice Johann Kriegler, who sits in front of me tonight. Good to have you here. Good evening to you.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers.
Thank you for making time. Let's start perhaps with the assembling of this team. Justice Madlanga, this is someone who is au fait with commissions of inquiry. And you would remember him in the Farlam Commission of Inquiry. Is there any doubt as to his abilities, his skill in handling matters of this nature?
No to all of those. There's no doubt at all.
Yeah.
He's a superbly competent judicial officer and presiding officer at a commission. We can have every confidence in him and in his colleagues.
Terry Mutau is going to lead the team of evidence leaders. I think I would like to sum it up that way. So he sits at the very top of the evidence leaders. We know he produced a report into the now defunct VBS Mutual Bank, and there's been many other things that he has done, including the most recent scandal that surrounded whether or not he was part of some team that would appoint the chairpersons of SETAs, and he came out very clear that I was not party to this. So can we doubt his skill, his integrity in this process?
No doubt about his skill, his integrity, his experience. He's up to the job, more than competent.
Yeah. Justice Kriegler, you are the perfect person to tell us just how sad a moment this is, because this is an investigation of agencies within South Africa's criminal justice system. How sad a day is this in South Africa's history?
You know, the Romans thousands of years ago had an expression that you're in trouble when you ask, who is watching over the watchdogs? Who looks after the watchmen themselves? And that's the crisis we're facing at the moment, where this commission has to look at the people who are supposed to be protecting us in terms of national security, national intelligence, national policing, national administration of justice. The whole criminal justice complex picture is under a question at the moment. Yeah. And that is, as you say, very sad.
There is a particular timeline that this commission has got to produce at least the first preliminary report. As you've said, Justice Madlanga is a man whose skill cannot be doubted. Therefore, I suspect the work is going to begin in earnest. In your view, do you think that they're going to meet that time frame? Because South Africans are probably acutely aware of the wastage. I don't want to use this word wastage, but South Africans are tired, frankly, of commissions of inquiry because there's lots of money that gets spent, but is there value for that money in terms of the people that get held accountable at the end of the process?
You've put your finger on the sore spot, haven't you?
Yeah.
The public at large, the people, are a little commission weary at this stage. We have, at the moment, a difference of opinion between the chair of the last major commission and the president of the country as to whether there's been sufficient compliance by the executive with the findings of the commission. Of course, that casts a shadow over this commission at the moment. To answer your question directly, though, can I say whether they will be able to stick to the term, to the period of 6 months? I can't say that. Nobody can say that. Yeah. The terms of reference are considerably narrower than those for the Zondo Commission, but they are still quite wide. They address a whole sector of public administration in all its facets. The depth, the breadth, the complexity at this stage are all unknown. If we finish in 6 months, I would not only be pleased, but I would be surprised.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take longer, but I do think the terms of reference make provision for an interim report or an update. I am sure that the Commission under my former colleague Madlanga will keep the public informed. They will go with all deliberate speed. There's a balance, of course. You go as fast as you can safely go. It's a very complex issue. It involves relying on witnesses, many of whom are in the very midst of that which you're inquiring into.
Yeah.
That creates its own problems. So a prediction, no, very risky.
Perhaps the last point to end this conversation, Justice Kriegler, is the man who prompted all of this, the general in KwaZulu-Natal, Mkhwanazi. He is now going to be given the opportunity to present hard evidence before this inquiry. Do you foresee any problems in as far as him producing that evidence? The burden of proof is going to be on him now. Does he deliver? And how big an anticipation do you think this is for ordinary South Africans?
I don't want to answer that question directly, because I don't think we must look at the Commission as being Mkhwanazi being the centre of it all. He was merely the instigator of a much broader inquiry. Yeah. It's not Mkhwanazi against the rest of them. It's not Mkhwanazi who's got an onus of proof. It is the Commission that's going to look at what he says, what all of the other people involved say. It's not a trial. It's not a criminal trial where anybody has an onus to prove something.
Yeah.
But yes, in reality, he made the allegations that started the ball rolling. They're going to look at him probably first, as the chair said. He is also probably going to give information or allegations that will direct the Commission in a variety of directions. But he's not the prosecutor, and the other people are the accused. Yeah. It's not it's much more complicated and nuanced than that.
Thank you very much for your time and analysis. It's always good to hear from you, the retired Constitutional Court Justice Johann Kriegler. All right, let's take a pause here, and we'll bring you more shortly after this.